So what is going on, everybody? Today we're going to be talking about what is the fastest way to farm XP in title update 16.1. You guys might know 16.1 dropped, and yes, there is a new, or you can say old way is still the best way. Yes, Summit got nerfed, but these convoys are still the way to go. If you guys notice them, they do float around the map, and I'll show you an easy way to get them to spawn a little bit more frequently. But as you can see here, we just look around the map and there are a ton of them, right? So our goal is to find areas that we can fast travel to, that we can cut these off and get a lot of XP fast and easy. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually hit this one up, and if you notice right behind it, there is also elite convoy. So it's gonna take us a little bit of time to knock these out, but we're gonna get the XP that we're looking for. Now this is super easy to do, especially if you do it with the status effect build. And if you happen to line them up right and you can find the door that they come out of, you can get these done in about a minute 30 max. So you can really get a lot of XP. You will get 586,000 XP with 4 directives on and on heroic. And if you do the elites, you get a little bit more, but just for regular convoys, usually typically that's what you'll see more of, you'll end up getting more XP. So that's something for you guys to really keep in mind when you're doing these, that it's a lot of XP quick, right? Because it's what, 700,000 XP for each level. If you're getting 568, not including the XP you get for killing each enemy, you should be leveling up every time, and then every other time, every like 4 times, right? Because it's gonna give you, you're gonna have 568, sooner or later you'll have enough to keep leveling up, and then it'll take every other time. But if you notice, we did have a video up on August 28th where I did the same thing for the global event, and look what we got, 586,000. Now what you need to do is pay attention to the top number. The number at the very top will show you how much XP you get. I know a lot of people say this got nerfed. It didn't. It's still the same. You can see the max amount of XP I got here was on August 28th. Title update 16 came after that. Title update 16.1 came after that. So this has not been nerfed. It's still fastest way to do XP now, especially now since Summit has been nerfed. Now remember, the number that pops up, you know, like the little summary that pops up in the middle of the screen that says you've completed this, like Elite Patrol, it shows 386,000. It's always gonna be a lot more up top. So just remember that it's gonna be more than what you see right there. And that is the same for when you complete this convoy right here. You're actually gonna see 586 again at the very top if you look closely. So that's why I tell you guys, this is really the best way to farm XP still, because once you complete this, we just completed 2 right there, right? Now we can go look around looking for another one. And what I typically like to do is if I can find 2 convoys near one point, I try to grab that one. If I can't, I just try to find the one to the closest. So we actually have a safe house here, and then we have a convoy. Resource convoy will take us about less than a minute, and you can time it right now, starting from right now when we arrive here. Now what I will tell you though is the regular resource convoys always have 2 waves. The elite convoys have 4, I believe, if you don't have a heavy. If you notice you get one of the big tanky guys, all you gotta do is finish them and it's done. Now if you get an elite resource combo and you don't see any tank, then that means you will have to do, I think it's 4 waves. So 2 on the regular, and then obviously 4. You get a little bit more XP for elite resource convoys. And you notice we have one guy about down here. They'll come out again. So this is the 2nd wave. And look at that, right under a minute. And we're about to finish this off too. And with the status effect build, I feel like this is the fastest way to do it. You could also use Hunter's Fury. It's just with the status effects build, you can just literally hit them and boom, you get the extra XP. 586,000 again right there. It actually sold 594,000, and that's just because of the bonus XP we got for killing the enemies. Need to make sure you do is at least have 4 directives on. So I'll show you real quick how I usually set mine up. You go to the open world map, right? You want to go to the open world map, and then what you want to do is tab over, and then the global difficulty, I always recommend heroic. Just because you get good rolls too. And then you want to have fog of war on, no regen, pistolero, and special ammo. Now, if you guys can somehow pull off cool skills, you can. The problem is this: if you're running a skill build, is when one skill is activated, the other one is put on cooldown. So that means my striker drone will be put on cooldown, and I don't want that to happen. And then last but not least, you want to reset all the control points so it's all red, because the more red you have, the more likely that you're gonna have those resource convoys going from one control point to another. Now once you do that, all you got to do is go look for these, and you can see we actually have another one right here. Actually doing this method for a long time. This is how I usually get through my global events. This is how I usually get through just farming shade levels. I play a lot of conflict, so you know there isn't a lot of shade levels there. So I'm currently only 3,000, right? I play a lot of conflict, so you don't get shade levels there. So I'm a little penalized for that. But hey, when I do want to farm any kind of levels, I just do this. I played a little bit of Summit 10 on floor 10. It was way too boring for me. I always found that running around the open world, finding these convoys was such an easier way to get XP fast, easy way to get those shade levels, and an easy way to get global events. As you see, I'm playing the global event right now, so I'm getting a ton of XP. I actually was streaming this live not too long ago. If you guys haven't checked out that stream, make sure you guys go over to my streaming channel, which is youtube.com/nothingbutsskills live. That is our third channel, and that's where all our live streams are. And we actually play a little bit of the global event. We played some countdown. We just messed around a little bit, but I was showing this method, and it's the fastest way to usually get global events. We were able to clear out a lot of the global events. We're almost done with the global event track, and we still have 2 days before the other challenges come up. So what builds was I running? I run my typical Eclipse build. So if you guys want to take a look at that right now, let me show you what it looks like. A slower breakdown of this build, I'll put a link to it, but we are running a 4-piece Eclipse. We have status effects and skill haste on every piece. So any piece you could put 2 rolls, we have status effects and skill haste. Ideally, that's what you want, right? And then for the exotic, we're running exotic mask, the Vile mask with skill haste mod. And then we're running the golden gear for the status effects. We have an armor roll, status effects, skill haste. And this is typically the build. I will put a link to this build down in the description if you guys want to take a look at it. I do have everlasting gaze, and then I also have a pistol with the same talent. Basically how I run this, I barely use my weapon in, especially with this global event where it has the polarity switch. It sucks to use your weapon. So I'm trying to use nothing but my skills, right? So I let my skills do all the work. That way I can get the points for it, and that way I can complete the challenges. And it's simple. You just got to find the area that they spawn out of, and the more you do this, the more you'll find out those spawn points, and then you just have to target them like this. So if you guys are sad that floor 10 of the summit is no longer working, don't worry. This method right here still is, and it's still going to be the best way to farm XP currently in the Division 2. Whether you guys are playing the global event, whether you guys are looking for shade levels, whatever you guys are doing, fast XP shade watch, this is the method right here, and this is probably the best build to do that. So if you guys want to see the build, I'll put a link to it. It'll be the pinned comment, the first pinned comment in the description, plus in the comment section. Wrap up the video here, guys. Hopefully this helped you guys out. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. Get those shade levels, get those global event stars, and have fun doing it. I'll see you in the next one. Nothing but skills out.